In this lecture, we are going to register a block. We've taken care of the first few steps of creating a metadata file. Without this file, WordPress may have a difficult time registering our block. The goal is to load the block.json file. To be specific, we will load the block file from the build directory. We can reliably assume that the file has been processed and optimized. A block can be registered by loading its block file. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to a function called register block type. This function will help you load the block.json file. It has two parameters. The first parameter is the path to the file. The second parameter is an array of additional options. Let's try using this function. Inside our editor, open the index.php file. To begin, we are going to register our block during the init hook. This action hook is the earliest hook available for plugins. We should register our block as soon as possible. The init hook gets triggered after WordPress has been initialized. Inside our PHP file, add 3 comments that say the following: setup includes hooks. For organization reasons, we should split our plugin's codebase into separate files. You do not need to follow this step. However, I highly recommend organizing your files for the best possible development experience. Next, let's call the add action function below the hooks section. The name of the hook is called init. Our function will be called upRegisterBlocks. For this plugin, we are going to prefix our functions with the letters UP, which is short for Udemy Plus. Next, let's define this function. Inside our plugin, create a folder called includes. We are going to outsource the logic of our plugin to the includes folder. Next, create a file called registerblocks.php. Inside this file, define a function called upRegisterBlocks. The name should match the name from the second argument of the add action function. Lastly, we should include this file in the index.php file. To avoid the possibility of an error, an absolute path should be used for including the file. Let's create a constant for storing a path to our plugin. Under the setup section, create a constant called upPluginDirectory. The value for this constant will be the return value of the plugin directory path function. This function is defined by WordPress. It will return a full system path to a plugin. But which plugin? Without help, WordPress will not be able to generate a full path. We must pass in the main plugin file name. In the PHP language, there's a constant variable in all files called __file___. Let's pass it in. This constant is unique to all PHP files. It'll point to the current file it's used in. In this example, it'll point to our main plugin file. Feel free to echo this constant to view its value. Next, let's use our new constant for including the register blocks file. Below the include section, add the include function with the following path: upPluginDirectory.includes/registerblocks.php. We are using a new operator called the concatenation operator, which is written with a dot. This operator will allow us to combine two strings. The path stored in the plugin directory constant is a string. We're appending two strings together. Keep in mind, our constant will provide a full system path to a folder, not a specific file. We are appending the rest of the path. It's time to register the block. Back in the register blocks file, call the register block type function. The first argument of this is required. We're not going to add the second argument. Most of our configuration settings can be found in the block.json file. We must provide a full system path to the block.json file. From there, WordPress will take care of the rest. Pass in the following value: upPluginDirectory .build/block.json. Once again, we are using the plugin directory constants. By including this file in the index file, we have access to the variables created before this file was included. This feature is important to highlight. If the file was included before the constant was created, we may encounter errors. The order of execution does matter. After this constant, we are appending the path to the block.json file from the build directory. After providing a path to the file, WordPress will import the block's.json file. We can start writing the logic for our custom block. In the following lecture, we are going to enqueue our JavaScript file.